you said some stuff y'all just don't say. It's not that you're not being honest. It's
No,
just
I
some.
didn't say not being honest either. You added that. I said that we just don't share the bad things that happen to us because no one cares, and we don't care to share it. Talking about ours doesn't make us feel good like it does y'all. We don't care to be heard. We don't care to be understood for the most part. So we don't run around here talking about bad shit. That's what women do because we y'all have a billion feelings that we don't.
Are older daters really more mature or just more guarded?
I got that one. I would say more traumatized, right? Which would cause them to be more guarded. As you age, you become more apprehensive, cynical, and yes, more traumatized. You'll see. Like, just try to like date a woman now. Like, if you go out, most of them are going to be like, "Oh well, you can meet me there." Like, what? You want to get picked up or not? And yeah, because they literally feel like you will bring them harm. To me, I think that's kind of weird. Maybe I'm just an old ass dude or some shit. But yeah, I think it's kind of weird. Like if that's how you feel, maybe you shouldn't be going on that date. Maybe you probably should have vetted a bit more. And it's like you were saying there, it's like it's almost impossible for you to have these horrible experiences without learned behavior. It's going to follow you. So you can go ahead and try your damnedest to do it, but you're always going to think back at all those potential things that you had. If someone cheated on you, then you're probably going to have trust issues, and you'll uh, get false signals. Oh, well, he's doing like this. I remember last time this happened. It's just one of them things. So it requires a tremendous amount of patience to deal with someone who's had more experience, and that's one of the main reasons why men are more reluctant to date older, because as a woman gets experience, she becomes more and more traumatized and is more awful to date in all honesty, just because of everything that she's been through and what she's going to project on you based on those experiences. And those and we can't exclusively say it's only because men do bring some bad characteristics sometimes, but in all honesty, I think that men do a lot more learning than becoming traumatized in most cases, whereas they get experience. And you can typically tell because women desire men with experience, whereas men don't typically desire women with experience because all signs point to bad. Everybody's got their finger raised. What's we doing?
Yo, Pearl, get at him.
Uh,
I disagree, Trev. I have to give you some pushback. I don't necessarily think that men learn more. I think they hide more. I think a lot more women may be vocal with what they may be traumatized with, and men hold it in. It's like you have to experience them and go through the motions to understand, like, oh, that triggers him. He's traumatized. And again, women could be like that too. And this is why I wanted to get back to that point of like constructive criticism, which is what JR was saying, and how important that selfie and what Rashida was saying about introspection and self-reflection. Like this is why we're at this point that we're having this discussion now about why people get up to this age and they're not as desirable. It's not necessarily the experiences. It's not what happens to you. It's how you process it or you don't. And that's why you get baggage, because you're still carrying these things, right? You have to have that sense of, what did I do? It's a victim, right? Because if it's a victim, then we know what it is. You don't have any blame. We're not talking about that. But when you have done something, right? And that's what Willie was saying. Like, people will talk about what their partner did, but they use what they've done and then try to get in another relationship. And just what JR was saying, thinking that it's not going to subconsciously or consciously appear. So I don't think that it's a gender thing, that men or women. I just think person who goes through whatever they go through and they don't do a good job at cleaning up their mess. Period. Like I was saying with constructive criticism, with that. Like when you hear constructive criticism, they automatically think you're just looking for all the things that are bad. That's why it's very important for people to really analyze their language and understand what constructive discourse is and what it looks like. If I constructively talking to you, I'm looking for ways to build you up. Criticism is like a critique. Like I still have to look for areas of improvement. So I just think people have a negative association, and like what JR was saying, they don't like to be held accountable. They don't like shit to be in their face. but it is what it is. So I'm gonna land my plane with, again, I don't think it's gender based. If anything, I think men hide more of what they've been through. And again, you just have to pick and find it. But I could be wrong. I land.
I don't think men are hiding anything, bro. Because we just because we don't talk about some shit doesn't mean it's hidden. The difference between men is we don't want sympathy or we don't want what we've been through to use that as a weapon or like as a mask or as justification for why we're still a fucked up partner in our next relationship. A lot of women do. Men don't talk about things that happen bad to women because nobody gives a shit what happens to bad men on average, except for our friends. Like you may tell your boy, like, yeah, man, she was pain, you know. I'll tell you the truth, like the underlying thing behind the 3 bitches and the nigga story, right? Because you're a dude, and I understand you'll know because you're a man, you've experienced those same things. But I'm not ever going to be outside just openly saying, oh, well, she was this, that, third, and fourth. And that's not me hiding it. It's just me not sharing it with the world. Hiding something is when someone asks you, like your partner says, hey, have you experienced this? And you say, no. I've never come home from deployment and caught my wife fucking 3 niggas in a midget. Like, that would be hiding it. Right? That's hiding something. And we don't hide anything just because we don't share it. Women talk a lot. And one of the things women thrive at doing is talking about their feelings and how they feel and then acting as if their feelings are based in truth or anything other than their perceived reality. They think if they feel a way, it is true. So they want to talk about those things because it makes them feel good. Talking about bad shit that happens to us doesn't make us feel good. It just makes us laugh or be like, damn, bro, that happened. Like, fuck, that shit is crazy. You know what I'm saying? So like,
so you're talking about plausible deniability, then?
It's not. See, y'all always want to make it something negative. It's not plausible deniability. Shit.
You're not going to tell it all.
Now, listen, y'all talk about that shit when no one asks you. You'll talk about it at brunch with your girlfriends. You'll talk about it on these panels. You'll talk about it with your mama and your therapist. Your nigga is not asking you about this type of shit. Y'all only bring it up when it justifies your behavior. There's nothing wrong with someone being guarded. If a nigga who's been in the league,
I'm talking about when you said that you said some stuff y'all just don't say. It's not that you're not being honest. It's just
no, I didn't say not being honest either. You added that. I said that we just don't share the bad things that happen to us because no one cares, and we don't care to share it. Talking about us doesn't make us feel good like it does y'all. We don't care to be heard. We don't care to be understood for the most part. So we don't run around here talking about bad shit. That's what women do because y'all have a billion feelings that we don't.
Can I say that I don't think that's true?
Okay.
Sure.
Because
I'm sorry.
Well, Pearl was trying to respond.
Excuse me. This is what I meant. It doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing. Like, I don't want you to trauma dump. I don't. This is an example. Like, because there's a difference between honesty and transparency and then omission. Like, if a guy knows he's a bad communicator, I appreciate him saying, you know what? I don't communicate well, Pearl. This is something that I work on, as opposed to not communicate to me. And I'm like, okay, he should have said this. He should have said that. He didn't say, you know what? You're a bad communicator. And he said, oh, damn, I know. My bad. And it's like, you see what I'm saying? It's not like I want you to just tell me all these horrible things, but I do want you to acknowledge it's a growth, and I want to be aware of those things. And I don't want to have to feel like I'm a detective and I have to figure these things out, especially when it's rooted and it should be based in self-awareness. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't want you to tell me all your bad things. I just want to understand who you are and how you conduct yourself. And when I bring that to you, don't act like you don't know what the hell I'm talking about. But I land.
But probably, like you said, sometimes men don't want to, disclose all of that. Like us as women, we want to talk about it, re-talk about it 50, 11 times. But men, you know what I mean? They're not.
But she just said herself that she wants the man to acknowledge he's not good at it, but never said that she wants him to do the work. And like, if you're saying that a man acknowledging he needs to do the work means just as much as a man doing the work, that's also problematic, because a guy is not going to tell you, you know what, I suck at this. He's probably going to just go fix what he sucks at. We don't have to acknowledge it. I would think that we would get more credit, or I don't know, what do y'all call them, brownie points, for actually taking the time to go fix the issue instead of sitting here talking you to death about it. Because again, y'all swear men talk a lot. And then when we try to go do something, it gets held in the same light based on how you just explained it.
So yeah, women are absolutely repulsed by incompetence. So yeah, I can understand that. But Pearl, there's a couple things.
And Thanks.
Men typically don't like to be corrected by women in general. That's the thing. Particularly when a woman doesn't know more about what it is she's trying to correct him in. And being that they're older, they just have a lower tolerance for bullshit and are more willing to articulate that. But it's not because they're older and they become more stubborn. They just really don't give a damn what they're saying to you sometimes, because as you get older, you start to say what you want and you realize that that is a lot more effective in the first place. There's another point.
So
but go ahead, you can respond to that. Go ahead.
Why? Okay, so I don't want to take it psychological because I really don't. Is it you all have an issue with, and I'm not even gonna assume anything, I'm just gonna ask, why is that? And I know you said like we don't prefer to listen to women about certain things that they're telling us, especially when we feel like they don't know more about it. But what about when and if you're not listening to her, how do you know what she knows? Like, I just explain that to me a little bit more. I don't want to, because I'm just trying to figure that out. So you don't respect a woman's critique of you? Is that where you're telling?
No, but most of the time when women try to correct you, it's about something that you already in the process of doing or already have more knowledge of her about. That's usually the situation. If that's not the case and he actually can learn something that you specialize in, then I'm pretty certain that he would be willing to take that critique. But that's almost never the case, and that's the problem.